Bob Marley and the Wailers and Could You Be Loved tomorrow morning on Sunday Breakfast. Why wearing the hijab doesn't mean you can't have great hair. Celebrating Sikhs in the armed forces. Reaction to changes in disability benefits. And 5 years on, remembering the first COVID lockdown. How long ago does that feel now? Sunday Breakfast with Katie Tyler tomorrow morning from 6, right here at BBC Radio Oxford.
Every kick, tackle and goal.
And Parker cuts inside. Parker's in here. And City have made it 4-0.
All the action is just moments away.
And it's been taken. All the goals running in.
Banbury United, champions of the Southern League, Premier Division Central.
And we are underway.
This is BBC Radio Oxford Sport.
Coming up through the afternoon, we'll bring you reports on Brackley Town. They're away at Radcliffe, but on non-league day, we're at home with Oxford City. They take on Warrington Town. Full commentary coming up from Andy Gate.
Well, good afternoon and thank you, Danny. Here we are, and the games do not get much bigger than this. Oxford City against Warrington Town, as I just get my bearings here, because there's a lot happening in the build-up to kick-off, as the two teams have come out and taken a photo right beside a big banner that says 3 up on non-league day. The National League are trying their best to get the message across to the Premier League, the EFL, whoever the powers may be, to try and make League 2 to the National League a 3 up, 3 down system. Both players having a photo in front of that banner, and now we're done, and now we can focus on the football, and it is a massive game this afternoon. Oxford City versus Warrington Town, a relegation 6-pointer, and I think that is fair to say as well, because 3 points for either of these teams are absolutely massive. 3 points for Oxford City, and that probably puts the final nail in the coffin for Warrington Town. Of course, you never say never. However, 3 points for Warrington, and Oxford City are being dragged back into the scrap. They won 2-1 on Tuesday night away at South Shields, which has given them a tiny bit of breathing space. But the job is far from done. I'm really glad to say is the two captains, Jay Harris for Warrington and Josh Ashby today for Oxford City, do the coin toss. I'm joined by the Oxford City captain, Reece Fleet. The last game of your 3-game suspension, I bet you can't wait to be back.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's a lot tougher watching than it is actually playing. The nerves really kick in, but like you said, a massive game. Both teams could be going for it. But I think the lads are confident after Tuesday, and hopefully we can back that up again today.
So it looks as though the swap has been done and the two teams are staying where they are. So Oxford City will be shooting from left to right as we see it towards the Cypher stand in the first half, and Warrington going from right to left. Warrington in claret and blue sort of checkered shirts, blue shorts and socks. Oxford City in their hoops and blue shorts and blue socks, going from left to right. And we're just about to get underway here, and it's going to be Warrington Town with the kick-off, and it's going to be Jay Harris to get us underway in a huge game here at the M Group Stadium. I really can't stress that enough. So here we go, 90 minutes of drama, and the roller coaster of what is the National League North will continue here this afternoon. And we're just waiting for the referee, Mr. Liam Corbett's whistle, and then we will have 90 minutes of pure drama. And there it goes. We're underway here at the M Group Stadium. Oxford City make one change from the team that beat South Shields 2-1 on Tuesday night, and that is in defence as a boost, as Canis Carroll is back from injury. He goes straight back into the team, so it's Laurie Walker as the goalkeeper. It looks as though they're lining up as a back three today, with Andre Burley as the right-sided centre-half, Ezanol in the left and Carroll in the middle. Left wing-back will be Coyle, right wing-back Drew, a midfield duo of Josh Ashby and Tom Scott, with Zach McEachran playing behind Jaden Carbon and Josh Parker. But there's an early chance here for Warrington to get forward through McDonald. He goes one way and then the left, and it's a chance here, and it almost bounces off Tom Scott, off I think Devon Green, and into the back of the net. And the earliest chance of the game goes to the visitors, who start brightly. And you spoke about a little bit of the nerves before, Reece, and it was a little bit nervy there, but it looked as though Laurie Walker had it under control.
Yeah, I think we got it under control in the end. Bit of a cagey start, as you expect at the moment. Both teams just trying to settle in and land on them first and second balls.
Good crowd here as well, as McEachran does well to wiggle past a couple of players and goes forward. Carbon's onside and he's inside the box, plays it back out to the right where Drew is waiting. Carbon continues his run, but Scott's found a bit of space here. Tom Scott's shot blocked by Peter Clark, and eventually Daniel Averton and Tom Scott Daniel Averton denies Tom Scott, and between the goalkeeper and the veteran centre half, they get the ball away by hook or by crook. Well, we've had two chances at both ends here, and I think Jaden Carbon's just going to get a talking to there from the referee. I was following the balls and kind of missed that. I imagine he's just gone for it and missed. But yeah, let's have your thoughts on that, Reece. For an entertaining start to this game.
Yeah, good start from us. Made a good couple of passes to get into their box, and Tom Scott's tested the goalkeeper there. So end to end already, but I think we've had the better chance there. So. Well,
he had so much room, didn't he, Tom Scott? There, he really. I wouldn't say do better, because the angle really wasn't there to find an empty pocket of the net, if you like, but there was a chance there. And Tom Scott will have fond memories of playing against Warrington Town. He scored the first in the reverse fixture as Oxford City won 2-0. You know, how big could that be looking back at that come April if Oxford City do beat the drop? But it's an entertaining start here, end to end, and Chiesa Nolan will just shape one way and then the other and play it back to Laurie Walker, the centre half there, the goalkeeper for Oxford City. Probably could play centre half with his footwork, perhaps. Ball forward, headed back by Clark, and it's picked up upon by Joe Ackroyd, and now Warrington will have a chance to play the ball round the back. I imagine they'll be desperate to give the travelling supporters, maybe 60 or 70 from Warrington, something to shout about. It doesn't quite look like it over there, but there is a strong travelling contingent that have made the journey down from Cheshire. But it's Oxford City now that have survived that slight early scare to try and come forward and find the opening goal. Gives us a chance to go through the Warrington team. In goal is Dan Averton, and he is like, and I'm going to say this, the non-league Edison. I don't know if you remember him up at Warrington, Reece, but he is phenomenal with the ball at his feet. He's so good. In fact, he scored a goal whilst playing as a striker in the Cheshire Senior Cup for Warrington last season. That's how good he is, as the ball is sprayed. As soon as I say that, Averton plays the ball completely nowhere near any Warrington shirts, and it comes out for a throw-in. The range of passing was good though, curse of the commentator. Apart from that, it's Ben Hatton, Hamish Douglas. The captain is Jay Harris. 10 is Matthew McDonald, Joe Rodwell Grant, Joe Ackroyd, Aaron James, Jack Hunt, Devon Green, who scored for Oldham against Oxford City last year. And the final player, Peter Clark, who is the veteran centre half. He was captain of Huddersfield Town under Lee Clark when they won promotion from League One to the Championship. He's been there, done that. He's won promotion with Bury and Huddersfield, like we say. He is a man that has seen it all in the Football League and is still going here today. Perhaps if he can help Warrington stay up in the National League North, that might be one up there with one of his best achievements. But City have the ball on the edge of the area here with McEachran. Sprays it out wide to Drew. Drew crossing towards the box, and it's going nowhere near the 6-yard box, and sprays out for a goal kick. But a strong start from Oxford City after that early scare, Reece.
Yep, good start. Zach's landing on the second balls there, just sprayed it out wide to Aaron, but Aaron couldn't quite get the cross in. But it's a good start from City, and we're looking good in these early stages. Hope that can continue. Well,
McEachran may prove to be the difference, and he started brightly in this game. We'll also bring you all the goals locally on non-league day. Only one goal has gone in at the moment in National League North, and that's come at Chorley. They lead 1-0 at Alfreton. We'll also bring you all the results there from the games that will have an effect as well on Oxford City and Brackley Town on non-league day today, and of course all the other local games as well. Still though 0-0 here in the opening 6 or so minutes, and the ball goes back to Carroll, who has to stretch the neck muscles to knob the ball into the path of Laurie Walker. He was under pressure from the striker there, and Joe Rodwell Grant, but he managed to keep composed and nod the ball back to the shot stopper. It's been a cagey start. Reece Fleet just said that it has been cagey. It's a big day in National League North. There's some big games. 8,000 people up at Scunthorpe, watching the battle between the top two. A few Brackley fans may have their eyes on that one, but right here at the bottom of the table, it's Warrington Town that are looking to land the next punch. Here's Devon Green, turns out and sprays a beautiful ball over to the right. It's chested down, and Warrington could be in here. It's a good ball into the edge of the area, goes down. Ooh, and I wondered if number 18 there, Aaron James, would have made the most of that. He might have had a little bit more luck in a penalty shot. Jay Harris turns away from his man, but he can't play the ball back into Aaron James, and that was a decision there for the referee to make. Fair play for Aaron James not to make the most of it, but he did take a little whack there. But they'll break, because here come Oxford City. McEachran's nicked the ball off his man. He's played in Carbon. Can City create a chance? He's got Drew to his left, but he works his way, and his shot with his weaker left foot is blocked. City still have the ball in possession though with Drew. On the right hand side, plays in Burley. Ashby now, and Oxford City just haven't quite made that counter-attack pay. Again, it's McEachran in the midst of everything, and Carroll's ball, Aaron Drew does his best to try and latch onto it, but it's just a little bit too powerful for Drew. But it has been a strong start for Oxford City, and Zach McEachran is at the thick of everything they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, like I said earlier, great play from Zach, landing on the second balls, and he's at their back line. It's a great play, and Ashby done really well in our box then. He stayed at his feet when could have easily dived in, but I think their midfielders made the most of that, to be fair.
Well, we were talking about Jay Harris off air before. I didn't think he had that in him, a little bit of a roulette turn, but he's certainly the Warrington captain is another man that has been there and done that in the AFL, who's formerly of Tranmere Rovers, and Reece Fleet will be very akin to what he had, his play there, and he goes smashing into McEachran there. And I reckon that could be cause for the first yellow card of the game. I don't think Liam Corbett's going to rush to his pocket though. And perhaps he's just managing the game there. If that's the second half, that's perhaps the yellow card, because Jay Harris has left one on McEachran there, I think is the correct turn of phrase. What did you think? Yellow card or am I being harsh?
No, I think it's probably harsh. In a big game like this, I think the ref's got to stay strong. There's going to be some big challenges, so I think the ref's done the right thing there.
Do you prefer that for the referee, just to keep the cards in the pocket, keep going?
Yeah, definitely, especially in the early stages of a big game like this. There's no need to give out rash yellows, and it sort of changes the flow of the game.
Well, certainly both teams getting stuck in these early stages, and it's a very even contest at the moment. But here's McEachran, who has received the ball from Coyle, turns on a sixpence and somehow finds another Oxford City man, but that ball breaks down from Ezanolim. Ashby does well to revive that ball, and he's played a sumptuous ball out to the right hand side. Drew plays it out to Carbon, who's drifted out from his central position out wide again. He's got Burley for support. Burley crossing towards the box. It drifts over everyone's head. It won't land at a foot of a hoop sherd, and in the end it is good defending from Joe Ackroyd to head the ball out for the first corner of the game, and it's Oxford City's corner, and it's a chance for Canis Carroll to meander up to the box. Lewis Coyle, shaped that he was going to take that there, but he's leaving it to Ashby. He's lingering for the short option, but he's slowly jogging away. So this is going into one place from Josh Ashby, and that's into the box. Referee keeping a close eye on proceedings. Just under 10 minutes on the clock. It will probably tick over that 10-minute mark when the corner's played, perhaps. Tom Scott's lurking on the outside of the area as well. Both hands in the air from Ashby, takes it, floated in towards the box, and the referee has spotted a foul there on the goalkeeper, Atherton, from Carbon, who protests his innocence, and it's a rather cheap foul to give away from what was quite a good delivery there from Josh Ashby.
Yeah, it's a great ball from Ashby. His deliveries from set pieces are normally on the spot, and that was definitely one of them, but started the better team, I feel. Looking more composed and just finding that right pass in them final thirds. But I said the midfielders keep landing on second balls. We're doing a great job.
Talk about composure. How composed was Josh Ashby on Tuesday night at South Shields? Josh Parker missed a penalty on 85 minutes, and Corey Andrews won a second penalty 5 minutes into added time, and he put the ball into the net for what could prove to be a massive 3 points. He is been fantastic this season, Josh Ashby. You enjoy playing alongside him, and what is it like to have someone like Ashby alongside you in a game? In fact, we'll break, because here comes Hatton, ball into the box, and it's got a good whip on it, and it'll go all the way out for a goal kick, and down that right hand side, Warrington are just starting to cause a few problems, and Ben Hatton was the man that time who almost created something. Ran down the right, whipped a ball in. It was almost too powerful, wasn't it, there? But if that got the faintest of touches, Laurie Walker's being forced into a save there. That's happening down that right-hand side for Warrington. Lewis Coyle perhaps has to, and Chia Zanolim, who are the defending sort of players on that left-hand side, might have to just be a little bit wary of the threat. Goal kick, though. I was just about to say, though, not on Josh Ashby. He must be an absolute pleasure to play with him in the middle of the park. You have done for a few years now.
Yeah, we've racked up a fair few appearances together, so you sort of learn the way each other plays, and I think yes, it's a good mix between us and obviously Zach and Tom Scott, whoever plays in there. But yeah, great player Ashby, and he's shown on Tuesday what character to take the penalty and slot it home.
Well, he'll have a free kick here, and it's not quite shooting distance, but it's a free kick that's deep enough into the area for Carroll to meander forward again, and it's a chance here for something. Everyone's kind of spread along the pitch. There's no real concentration of players anywhere. Carroll's just inside the D and on the edge of the box. He swivels and goes out towards the right. In fact, he's found him, nods it back in towards the box, and Tom Scott drills an effort just wide of the post. Just wide of the post. Dan Atherton was at full stretch. It wouldn't have gone in, but it wasn't on target, but it was certainly the closest we've got to a goal in this game, Reece. Yeah,
great play from Callis, just spinning out back sticks, managed to head it across, and a good strike from Tom, which tested the keeper. But it's good stuff from City.
Atherton now to take. Nodded back from Ashby. Ashby slams the ball forward again. Josh Parker will chase, and it's not the greatest of clearance from Hamish Douglas, and Parker's won the ball back. He drifts out to the left. Here's Ezanolim now. Ashby to Carroll. Back to Laurie Walker. And City just starting to play the ball round the back. Burley now. Burley back to the keeper Walker. This is the best passing moves we've seen here. Here's Carroll. Brings the ball forward, and then he'll try and find Parker on the left again. He's getting his shirt tugged there, Parker. The referee's not given anything that time, but he's won a throw in on that far side to Oxford City, which Coyle will leave for Ezanolim. Good play from Parker, who has had to feed off scraps at points this season and rarely gets fouls going his way. Another throw into Oxford City on that far side, just in front of the halfway line. Here's Josh Ashby. McEachran will opt to play it back to Carroll. No goals in our local games just yet, all 0-0. Still 0-0 here, just under 15 minutes played in this crunch game at the bottom of National League North. A little bit cagey as the ball has landed at the feet of a Warrington man, and he'll come forward through Rodwell Grant on the edge of the area, and he shoots, and it's straight at Laurie Walker. And again, another chance, and the ball kind of rebounded into the path of Rodwell Grant, who shrugged off the challenge of Ashby to get a shot off at goal. Ashby seems hurt. There'll be a little break in play here. But again, Warrington's front line looked quite active today, Reece. I think City are going to have to be at the best to shut them out.
Yeah, definitely. I think the ball took a deflection off Tom Scott and fell to the 25, who's hit a good strike, but a good save from Laurie. But yeah, we have to keep our concentration for the whole game.
Ashby's okay to continue. It's just a little whack, I think, and I'm sure you've had plenty of them this season. Maybe a fair few more than the National League South. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. Never in doubt Ashby was going to get up from that over.
Yeah, he's a tough cookie, isn't he, Josh Ashby? As Walker, who's already been forced into a save, has hit the ball forward. Tom Scott's beaten to it, though, and the press will start on Ezanolim, who smacks the ball into a purple shirt, and it comes off Ezanolim, in fact, and it'll be a Warrington throw in. Ball all the way back to Atherton, the goalkeeper, who takes a touch and will spring a ball forward. Lewis Coyle stays strong as he just tries to get his body in front of two Warrington Town men and shield it out for a throw-in, and he successfully does that. Still not too much to write home about yet. Oxford City perhaps shading these early proceedings, but Warrington Town has have forced Laurie Walker into a save early on. And every time that McEachran gets the ball now, there's a few Warrington players trying to get the ball off him. In fact, they failed at that as McEachran is pulled down after he intercepted the ball there, and he'll win a free kick again for Oxford City. Again, not quite a shooting distance, but it's certainly one to deliver one in towards the box. What are you thinking when you get set pieces like these? Oh, well, they've taken it quickly, and Parker's caught them out here. He just can't quite keep the ball in play. Perhaps they took that too quickly. Certainly caught me off guard. Perhaps caught Josh Parker off guard as they tried to play him through the left. It was a good idea, but the practice behind the theory didn't quite work out there.
No, it was quick thinking from Ashby just to spin it in behind for Josh, but he couldn't quite get the cross in with his left foot. But good idea. Sometimes nice to do a quick, short, sharp free kick.
Well, it certainly caught them out, didn't it? And if it was just slightly, the pass was just slightly less powerful, Parker probably gets a better delivery on that, and you never know what happens there. But at the moment, it's still Oxford City 0, Warrington Town 0 in National League North. No goals in our local games as of yet. Ball forward. Well taken down this time from Matthew McDonald, and he'll come forward here, and he's found Hatton. Hatton on the edge of the area, drills a shot towards goal, just wide of the post. And that's the closest we've come to a goal in this game. Laurie Walker's screaming at, I'm not quite sure who, but somebody. But Hatton burst forward and found the space, and he thought, well, I may as well have a do, and it was not far away. And Warrington is showing signs they're growing into this game. I mean, you say that we might be nervy on the pitch for both of these teams. How are you sat here, Reece?
Yeah, it's tough. It's much harder sat here than it is being out there. Nervy moments, but yeah, as you said, Warrington are starting to land on them first and second balls a little bit more now. They've had a few half chances now, so I'm sure Laurie will be demanding more from the defence.
His first job is to hit the ball forward, and Tom Scott has brought down his man. It'll be a free kick to Warrington. They are having all that sort of look down the Oxford City left at the moment, but Harris will play it down the Oxford City right, where his teammates waiting. They'll try and play a ball forward, but Burley cuts it back. Here's McDonald. It's back. Tom Scott will try and get the ball away from him. Jack Comte is taken down, but they'll continue here. Ball down the right, and Carbon will look to run into a little bit of space. He's just waiting for support up in the box, and he's got one in Scott. Scott to Drew. Drew's offside. It won't count. They've got... Well, Oxford City should have put the ball in the back of the net. It wouldn't have counted because it was offside, but Tom Scott has just missed an absolute sitter, and I think he'll be happy to see the flag go up there, because that was a glaring miss from Tom Scott, who, Oxford City did carve through the opponents there, and that's the first time we've really seen a bit of free-flowing football, isn't it, Flea?
Yeah, scrapping in the middle of the park there. We managed to get on the first and second there, and Zach travelled with the ball and played a lovely ball out wide, but it's a good bit of play from City.
There is a bit of a nervy feel around the stadium. There's not too much atmosphere. There's a lot of chat, but not too much atmosphere. Neither sets of supporters have really got behind the team just yet. And it's perhaps an indictment of the game as well, where both teams are still sort of figuring each other out. There's still both of these creating chances. Clark heads the ball back into the path of Hatton. Coyle will be underneath it, but he's managed to shrug off Coyle here. Here's Ackroyd. Another brilliant ball over to the right-hand side where James is waiting. He'll have to play all the way back, and Parker will press from the back. They'll play it to Atherton, who is under pressure from Parker, but he's cool and slips, but has found his man. But the header from Rodwell Grant bounces into the path of Ashby inside his own area. Scott sprays the ball out to the right wing here, and then he's got Drew, who cuts inside, and McEachran's found a bit of space on the edge of the area. McEachran pokes his shot towards goal, straight at Atherton. Another save, but again Oxford City pushing, and this game is starting to open up. It's getting more end to end as Ezra Nolan just gets in front of his man and wins a free kick. Perhaps McEachran had a little bit more time than he thought there for his Fleet, but it's certainly, let's say those pockets of space he's finding at the moment, he's looking good today, and perhaps we should say he should have scored there.
Yeah, I think it's key on the turnover. If we can win them turnover balls and spaces there between the defence and midfield, but Zach did great there just to slot, Aaron did well just to slot Zach in there, and he'd be upset he didn't do better with that.
got the first goal in our local games. It's Bromsgrove Sporting 0, Banbury United 1 in the Southern League. Harry Riley getting the goal there, so it's a good start for our local teams there. Hopefully more goals to come during the afternoon. So Banbury taking the lead at Bromsgrove early on. In National League North, not too much to write home about at the moment. Only a few goals, but there's a chance here as Rodwell Grant is judged to have fouled Carroll. If he didn't give that the linesman, he was very sure that it was a foul. Carroll looks hurt though, and there might be a break in play here because he looks in some pain. It's currently Darlington 1, Rushall Olympic 1. Rushall Olympic second bottom, and they're on the heels of Warrington Town, so maybe they'll be looking to spring a late survival push if they can get one over Darlington today. It's a tough place to go. Elsewhere, Kidderminster Harriers 0, Needham Market 0. That's probably the key game that Oxford City fans will be keeping an eye on. And Radcliffe 0, Brackley Town 0, Scunthorpe 0, Chester 0 as well for any Brackley fans listening for the games right at the top that could affect them. We're back underway here, and Carroll is okay to continue. Again, a scrap for the ball in the middle of the park. Carbon does well, turns and then plays the ball out right to Aaron Drew. Into McEachran, he's drifted out to that right hand side as well. It's a tight space, but City are playing football well. McEachran again tries to play through, and Drew again has just strayed offside there. They're starting to press now, they're starting to push forward. What is the sort of game plan today, Reece? You don't want to go in behind, of course. I mean, that's obvious to say, but is it about keeping tight, staying in the game, or is it about landing those early blows?
Yeah, I think a big game like this is always going to have its nervy moments, but I think if we can obviously stay in the game first half, second half we do tend to open teams up on the counter. There's been a few instances first half where we've opened them up and maybe could have done better by decision making, but
still they come forward. It's Warrington who stray offside this time. I get the impression that despite Warrington's chances are coming from when they win the ball high up the field, Oxford City are really building from the back for their chances. City certainly controlling the game. They're having the majority of possession, and they're coming close. But Warrington do look dangerous when they win that ball back early up the field, and they've got a chance here now through Hatton, who will come across the halfway line and play a ball in front of the number 15, Joe Ackroyd. Josh Ashby's alert to it though and slams the ball up the field and does well to find McEachran, and McEachran finds Parker. It's brilliant play from both Parker and McEachran to team up and win that ball. Parker, brilliant ball into Scott. He's onside here as well. Scott cross or a shot across goal, I'm not quite sure, but that was a golden opportunity for Oxford City. I think the Warrington defence was stunned. I think they thought that Scott was offside. The flag didn't go up. He had the time. He took the ball down, and I think he's gone for the shot there, Tom Scott. But if he had just looked up for a split second, he would have seen Aaron Drew lurking at the back post, and that is so close, wasn't it, Reece Philippe? Perhaps it should be 1-0, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think Tom realised how much time he had in the end, but it was a great run into the box, and their midfielders didn't track him. But if he keeps doing that, he's going to get more chances.
I think he did that, didn't he, in the last game when against Warrington, where he ran beyond the back line and was just too pacey for them and had the finish to match. That one was he just had now was on his weaker left foot, but he's certainly growing into this game, Tom Scott. Burley, ball down the line again. Douglas and Parker will battle for it. This time it's Douglas that wins that one, but Parker will continue to press the teammates and does well to force the error from the clearance from Aaron James. Oxford City, you get the impression they're starting to get into their groove now. Just ticking over onto 25. It's been a really entertaining start to this game. Ezanolim, a long throw in down the line, won by Harris. It's into the path of a Warrington shirt too, but City are trying to run it back. They don't though. Harris again. His shot closed down by Ashby, and that's a great interception from Josh Ashby. Bounces off the City midfielder and straight out for a throw in, but you never know where that ball from Harris was going to end up. I mean, he's shouting to Devon Green, his left winger, that he needs to make the run beyond. It's not happening so far for Warrington though. The manager Paul Carden, who joined Warrington from fellow Cheshire club Nantwich Town, he was very successful there, and he hasn't quite had the rub of the green here at Warrington, who are just trying to keep their Step 2 credentials. But they're starting to be tested by Oxford City, who are really stamping their authority on the game now. They've just got to keep their finger on the pulse, their foot on the gas, whatever you want to say, and maybe nudge ahead in this scrappy game, which I think scrappy's the word, isn't it, Reece, with these early proceedings?
I think it's to be expected.
But the ball's been given away by Ashby, and here's a chance here for Warrington. Again on the edge of the area, chance here, and they'll still shape for a shot, but in the end Rodwell Grant took way too long to pick his pass. Eza Nolim is screaming at Carroll. Carroll is just tapping him there. I'm not quite sure. They've got a throw in Warrington, but Rodwell Grant really should have pulled the trigger there. In the end, Canis Carroll gets Josh Ashby out of jail, because that was an opportunity out of nothing, and that's where Warrington Town are starting to get their opportunities from.
Yeah, it's great defending from Canis, covering there. Great last-ditch tackle.
Throw in, and there's by the looks of it, this is going straight into the box from Hatton, and it does. It's a long throw. It's flicked on. It's a good flick on as well. Devon Green's underneath it in space. Has he just kept that in? I think that's hit his hand, and the referee is going to be assisted by the linesman on that far side. Has gone out. I'm not quite sure it did go out from Devon Green, but it certainly hit his hand. But it doesn't matter, because Oxford City have a goal kick. But that was a real scary moment, and I think it's fair to say that the Warrington attacks are coming from self-inflicted chances from Oxford City. They're giving away the ball in silly areas. Warrington are certainly pressing high up the field, aren't they, to try and win the ball back when City have committed men forward. It's a real interesting game as Parker's header bounces into the right-hand channel. Carbon will chase, and he's not going to give the defender enough time to shield that ball out for a goal kick. Scott gets in front of his man and wins a free kick. Good play from Scott. McDonald isn't happy and picks the ball up straight away. And Ashby's just going to wait here for an option, and in fact he doesn't have one in front of him, so he goes back to Carroll. Burley now, who'll just play with the ball on the halfway line, plays it forward to McEachran, who's hustled and harried by Jay Harris, and it goes out for another Oxford City throw in midway through the field. Burley just helps the ball over towards the right. Couple of step overs and gets past his man, and he'll burst forward here. Burley keeps going, and he's gone down. There'll be no free kick given. He's taken a whack there, but City have committed men forward. Burley looks in some pain, and in fact he's not let him take any injury time here, Oxford City, as Burley stays down, and Warrington are allowed to take a quick free kick. Luckily enough though, it doesn't work out and goes all the way out for a goal kick. That would have been a rather well, that would have been very strange if that would have been allowed to if they would have created something there, Warrington, because Burley was down injured, and once the stoppage in play came, you think, well, the physio's going to have to come on here.
Yeah, I was quickly thinking from their defence just to flick that ball in behind so quickly, but luckily it went out of play, and Andre looks in a bit of pain here.
He does. It's not a good sign for Andre Burley, who is being treated now. He did maraud forward, a couple of step overs, and really looked good when he was coming forward. It's just giving the two sets of players a bit of time to go over to the benches, have a bit of fluid, and get some team talks from the managers and coaches. Andy Ballard and Ross Jenkins just having a chat with a couple of players, and Paul Carden, the Warrington Town manager, doing the same. Gives us a chance to go through the goals that have been going in some of our local games. It's still 0-0 at Radcliffe, between Radcliffe and Brackley in National League North. There's Southport 0, and City's Tuesday opponents, they'll travel to Scarborough. They're 1 up at Southport. Spennymoor 1-0 up against Farsley. It's going a bit further down the pyramid, and it's still 1-0 to Banbury away at Bromsgrove. Still 0-0 in all of our other local games so far. Plenty of twists and turns to come through the afternoon. What have you made of Oxford City's start? We've just ticked past the half-hour mark. What have you thought of the game so far?
Yeah, I think we've been good up to the last couple of minutes. I think this might help the players to regroup and get back on it again. But I've been impressed. We've started well. I think we've been the better of the two teams, but Warrington have had a few half chances, which I'm sure they think they could do a little better with.
A few nervy moments. There is good news elsewhere though. Kidderminster Harriers have just taken the lead against Needham Market, so it's good news for Oxford City. Needham Market it's good news for Warrington as well. Needham Market are the closest team to Oxford City, and Andre Burley is back on and just testing out those leg muscles as he's off the pitch, but he's getting back in line with his defenders so he can come on at the right area. And Rodwell Grant has managed to control that. Whether that was with his arm or not, I'm not sure, but Burley's allowed back on the pitch and City are back with 11 men, and he's going to have to do some defending in his opening stages back on the game. Here's McDonald over on the right hand side. They're just trying to play the ball to Hatton, but he's found his man. Cross in towards the box, and Drew heads the ball into the air. That's going to go out for a corner to Warrington. Lewis Coyle nods it back because he wasn't quite sure where McDonald was waiting, but it's another chance here, and I think it's the first chance from a corner that Warrington are going to have. And Peter Clark is going to come up from the back, as is probably the tallest man on the pitch here, the number 4, Hamish Douglas. Everyone forward here. The deepest man from Warrington is midway through the Oxford City half, so they're throwing everything at this one. Sprayed ball in, headed away by the first man, McEachran, and City will try and gain a few yards. The referee's going to have to stop something for a head injury here. I think it's Rodwell Grant, mate. No, in fact, Peter Clark's gone down with an injury, so there's going to be a stoppage in play. Didn't see a foul in there myself. Did you see anything that I didn't, Reese?
No, I couldn't see anything. It just looked like a clash of the centre half and Josh Parker, but he's up now, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Peter Clark, we said that before, but he has been a man that has been well in the thick of the action within his career in the EFL, winning promotion a couple of times. He's a man that's certainly been there, done that. And the referee's going to give a drop ball here, but he's going to give it to Warrington, so they're going to keep men committed forward here. The ball, free kick, given away straight away. Coyle goes through Ben Hatton. There's another chance for Warrington to swing a ball into the mix. Liam Corbett, the referee, was right in front of that. City with more defending to do now. The clock ticks over 32 minutes. Ben Hatton's going to take it, and he has put in some decent deliveries, Ben Hatton. Chance here, it's going to be a one-man wall of Jack McEachran. Referee's just saying, watch your hands. He's not inside the area. So here is Hatton. Referee blows his whistle. It's a low ball in. Coyle gets a foot to it. Another corner to Warrington. They're starting to threaten here from set pieces, but City at the moment defending them. Canis Carroll can hear him from here, just screaming instruction to his teammates as the ball is thrown back to Ben Hatton, who is liking to fizz these into the box rather than a floating effort. He's got one arm in the air again. This time it's in again, but away by the first man, McEachran. Back out to Hatton though, and their second cross is blocked by Jaden Carbon. A clap of the hands from Ross Jenkins there, because City are defending well. They've just got to sit tight and ride this storm perhaps. You know, the game's going to have stages of momentum, and it's certainly swinging in Warrington's favour now, and it's Aaron James to take the throw in. This is going right in towards the box, looping one this time, headed out by Parker, back out to James, takes a touch, right-footed cross in towards the air, headed towards goal by Clark, and Laurie Walker is just going to see that out for a goal kick. Well, they've managed to defend everything that's been thrown at them there at Oxford City. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, Zach's made a few good headers there, so has Josh. It's just important we stay concentrated and weather this storm. Like you said, both teams will have spells, so it's just important we stay concentrated and get the ball moving.
Well, here's a throw in here, and the referee is just going to make Oxford City move them back a little bit. Ezenolim here, throwing up the line. He's got a long throw himself, Chi Ezenolim. I wonder if that's something that Oxford City will be hoping to facilitate later on in the game. Ball bounces off Tom Scott's left foot and out for a throw in on that far side. McDonald shakes past his man and moves his body well to run in on goal. He's moved the ball away from two players and he's found Devan Green in space here. Chance here. Devan Green is being joined by Jack Hunt here. Cuts inside the winger. Good cross in towards the box, and it just doesn't find the number 11 Rodwell Grant. He flicked his neck to try and head that towards goal, but it fizzes past the top of his head. That wasn't too far away. And the referee is just going to Well, he's signalling to make a change there, was he? Or perhaps rolling ball, I'm not quite sure. Maybe just to keep going. Here's Coyle now. Certainly Warrington Town are pressing high. Referee's seen a foul in there though, and Oxford City just haven't had the ball in the opposition area for quite a while. After a good early spell of possession. Ball curled down the left by Ezenolin. Parker leaves it. Oh, and it's a bad back pass, and Carbon can run on, but it's good play from Atherton. But has he got the ball clear? He hasn't, and City could be in here. Carbon, 1-0, and Oxford City have scored a massive goal in their bid for survival in National League North. It's Jaden Carbon who's got the goal, but it's all from Dan Atherton's mistake. He gets mixed up. There's head in the hands of the Warrington defenders, but he nicked the ball off the goalkeeper, played in Carbon, and then as soon as Atherton was sprawling back to try and get a hand at it, Carbon kept composed and smashes the ball into the back of the net. That could be a big goal in this game, and after 37 minutes here, it's Oxford City 1, Warrington Town 0. That could be a massive goal, Reece Fleet.
Yeah, great bit of play from Josh Parker and Jaden. They didn't give up on the press. Their centre half hasn't seen Jaden Carbon pressing him, and he's obviously laid it back a bit short. It's rebounded to him, but it's a great composure from Jaden, and it's a great finish and a great time to score.
Great time to score, and it's just come off the back of that Warrington pressure. They've actually created better opportunities themselves than that Oxford City, but one mistake in this division can cost you. From an Oxford City perspective, they've been on the other end of that stick for a long time in the last year and this year. But they've made that mistake count because, well, I'm going to apologise to Dan Atherton, because that's probably come from me, from praising him with his footwork there. And as soon as I say that, he's made an absolutely horrendous error. But that's put the wind in the City sails, and they're looking to try and add another goal to this. And the fans behind the net to our right, from an Oxford City perspective, are starting to get behind their team. Brilliant play from Carbon, who we should reiterate, he's playing up front today, the City youngster. He's not a striker, is he? He's more of a ride man, and he's been playing there for quite a few games after Corey Andrews has been injured. But he's been doing a good job of it, hasn't he, Reece Fleet?
Yes, definitely. He's
a break here, actually, because here come Oxford City through Tom Scott. Neat play again. Parker's drifted out to the wide right and got the ball. His cross is into the back of the number 24, Jack Hunt, and he makes a hash of that clearance, and it goes out for an Oxford City corner, their second of the game, and they're looking a little bit rattled here, Warrington Town, who, for by all means, it's been a pretty even game so far. Corner. If Oxford City can just add another goal to this, then what a position they'll be in going into half-time. Lewis Coyle's trudging across to the left to take this, so it looks as though it'll be a left-footed in-swinger from the direction of the corner. He's joined by McEachran for the short, right in front of the scoreboard, and he'll take the short ball. McEachran standing with the ball. He's just slowly coming forward, back out to Ashby. Ashby's cross into Carbon again, but that time he can't flick the ball towards goal, and it goes out for a goal kick. They need to make this pressure pay, don't they, Oxford City? We were talking about the momentum swinging. It's swung once again. They need to really make the most of it, because Warrington, to me, Reece Fleet, look a little bit rattled by that.
Yeah, it looks like it's knocked the winds out of their sails a little bit here. Sit on the press.
Well, what's that like as a footballer? As still they'll battle for it between Wadrell Grant and Carroll. They both leave it thinking it's going to go out, but Ashby doesn't rest on his laurels and manages to keep it in. Still they'll come forward. Neat little turn there from the number 15 Ackroyd, but still City come forward. Here's Drew. Neat little turn, and they could be away here. Drew drives forward. Ball out wide to Carbon. Can he find a cross? He can. It's a little bit too deep, but goes to Coyle. Helps it back in and cleared. Well, this game has burst into life here at the M Group Stadium. Here's Ezenolin. Bit of a heavy touch, but he manages to keep himself stable, but they don't clear the ball well. McEachran's got the ball back again, though. Still coming forward. He's found Parker. Brings the ball in towards the box on the left. Shoots! Great save from Atherton, who makes up for that earlier error. Brilliant play from Parker. Step over with the ball onto his left foot inside the box, and he unleashes a fizzed effort towards goal, but Atherton is equal to it and makes a solid save. Oxford City's third corner of the game here. Well, if they could score here, Oxford City, that would be absolutely massive. Still got 5 minutes to go plus stoppages. and we will have a few minutes of stoppage time here. The attendance today, 737 in here for non-league day for this fixture, is a pretty good crowd. But here, the last one that Oxford City took with Coyle was short. Drew this time will go for a short option, but Ashby moves away. So this is going into the box here. Coyle, in swinger, missed by Atherton, and it's into his own net by Peter Clark. It's another error from Dan Atherton, but Oxford City won't care. Peter Clark couldn't do anything about it. He just thought that Atherton was going to punch the ball clear. He's completely made a hash of that clearance, and it bounces off Peter Clark and into his own net, and Oxford City have made it 2-0 here at the M Group Stadium. A Peter Clark own goal, but what a half this is turning into from Oxford City's perspective, Reece Fleet.
Great ball by Coyley there, lofted it into the box, a difficult area for them to defend, but since the goal we've been dominant, and it's showing they're showing signs of weakness, Warrington, but it's great to get that second goal, and hopefully we can see this through till half time.
Well, Peter Clark just has his head in his hands because Dan Atherton's gone to punch that clear. It's a brilliant delivery from Lewis Coyle. Now Warrington really do look rock, because for 30 minutes they've been quite good in this game. It was a really even game, but since that opener they've looked shell-shocked, and Oxford City have made them pay. A corner in from Lewis Coyle. Atherton's just come out, he's got no one around him, and he's misjudged the flight of the ball completely, missed the punch, and they're waiting. The ball's hit Peter Clark and his body's in the wrong position, and it bounces off him and into an empty net. It's a horror show from a Warrington Town perspective, but Oxford City will not care one jot because they are in cruise control at the moment. 2-0 here. Oh, that could be absolutely massive come the end of the season, who knows, but there's still a job to do. Incredible. Well, Reece Fleet, I mean, you'll be absolutely gutted you're not out there today, but I bet you'll be loving to play in this now, because Oxford City are starting to find their groove now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we've been very composed on the ball at times, and to get them 2 goals this time and a half is it's great, but it's also a bit of a dangerous scoreline. But hopefully we keep it at 2-0.
You're absolutely right, because Warrington are very much still in this, and they shouldn't be too downtrodden because they have been in this game. They've created a little bit when they've pinched the ball off the heels of Oxford City, but they do look really shocked, don't they? They've got 2 minutes plus stoppage time, and you wouldn't bet against Oxford City adding a third. That time Laurie Walker's distribution isn't great, and gets lucky with his rather slim effort bouncing off the foot of McDonald and out for an Oxford City throw-in. And this game and today has burst into life. We've had goals locally as well. Radcliffe 0, Brackley 1. Brackley edging ahead up in Greater Manchester. And in the big game at the top 2, Scunthorpe United lead at home to Chester 1-0. 8,000 people on non-league day watching that game up there. That could have a big bearing on who wins the title, and it's Callum Roberts who's got the goal there. Brackley Town moving up to second as it stands. Still going here, and Oxford City looking to make that pressure pay again, but Warrington desperately looking for a way back into this. Here's Peter Clark. Sends the ball forward. It's a decent looking ball. It's a good touchdown from Ben Hatton. And suddenly the atmosphere around the M Group Stadium has completely changed here. Paul Carden, the Warrington manager, stands with his hands folded, because his side, well, he'll be just asking questions. What on earth has happened to his side? Atherton smashes the ball clear. I was praising before the game, and perhaps the Warrington fans will be cursing me for doing that, because he's been, well, pretty shocking in this first half, to be honest with you. But the ball will bounce into his grateful grasp this time. Atherton now with the ball, just bouncing it. He's just going to send everyone forward and send this forward as well. And it bounces all the way out for an Oxford City goal kick. We're into 3 minutes of additional time here. 3 minutes, so we'll see if Oxford City can see this out, or at the very least try and add another to the tally. And what has been what's turned into a cagey half has turned into a pretty good one. And out of nothing, Oxford City have stunned Warrington Town to lead 2-0 at the M Group Stadium at the moment in this 6-pointer down at the bottom of National League North. Still City come forward here with Coyle. He bursts down the left. He's just about found McEachran, who's helped it ball onto Carbon. Clark's gone down off the field here. Here's McEachran. Shoots and it hits Lewis Coyle, and that'll bounce out for a goal kick. Peter Clark's just having a word with the linesman to say that he should have seen something off the ball there. Just looking back at the images from that goal from Peter Clark, it is completely well, he's kicked it into his own net. He's absolutely booted the ball into his own net there, Peter Clark. He will not want to watch that back. If you're listening here, you will. You'll want to watch that back on the highlights after the game. Ball into the air. Ezra Nolan wins the header, but it's still not clear. Harris runs onto it, as is Aaron James. Warrington aren't being disheartened too much by that hammer blow. But the ball, they're not really creating anything when Oxford City have the ball deep into the half, and Laurie Walker will just play the ball into a corner and catch the ball under the pressure of Joe Rodwell Grant. City still have 2 games in hand and Needham Market, who are the closest to catching them, but if the results stay the same, they'll be going 6 points clear of Needham Market with 2 in hand, and it'll be looking a lot brighter than it had been doing, as the ball bounces off the fence and almost smashes a supporter in the face. City taking the time over every set piece, and Warrington trying to hurry them along the way. We've got about 50 seconds of the additional or the original allotted 3 to go. Parker, he's being held here, but he's found Drew, and City trying to wiggle through there through Carbon. He gets his pocket pick though, but City, when they lose the ball, they're not allowing Warrington to burst forward here, and it'll go out for a throw-in. We need to be professional here. Jack Hunt to take the throw-in for Warrington. He's trying to steal as many yards as possible as he comes towards the halfway line. Wins the ball back, but his pass is not into the right area. Parker, he's brought down. Not enough in that from the referee to give a free kick though, but that's another misplaced path for Warrington. They've been sloppy. Here's McEachran. Can he sort his feet out? He can just about, but he's had his pocket picked again. Still Warrington get it away with one there. We've had the 3 minutes of additional time now, so that we're just all eyes on the referee, whose whistle goes now, and it has been a pretty solid half for Oxford City. For the first half an hour it was very cagey, as you'd expect between 2 teams in the thick of the relegation battle, but after Jaden Carbon capitalised on Dan Atherton's effort to give Oxford City the lead, it shell-shot Warrington Town. A corner was sent in just minutes later. Atherton made another hash of it and missed the punch completely before Peter Clark smashed the ball into his net. Clark's just having a word with the officials now, but Oxford City at half-time are in control here. Half-time here at the M Group Stadium in this massive game at the foot of National League North. Oxford City 2, Warrington Town 0.
It might be bad news for Warrington Town, but it's great news for Oxford City. 2-0 up at the break, thanks to Andy and to Reece Fleet, the Oxford City captain.
Danny Cox.
The sound of Oxfordshire.
And all the music you love. BBC Radio Oxford.
8 minutes to 4 on what is National League Day. The great Van Morrison and Brown Eyed Girl. 5 minutes to 4. Good afternoon. I'm Danny Cox in for Jerome Sale here at BBC Radio Oxford Sport on non-league day. We're following Oxford City, who are 2-0 up at the break against Warrington Town. Also in National League North, a big match today for Brackley Town. They're away on the road to Radcliffe. Following them, Tim Carroll.
Yes, a really excellent 45 minutes here for the visitors. Brackley leading by 2-0 at the break, and it's a thoroughly deserved lead. Brackley have really taken the game to Radcliffe from the very start. The goals came from Zach Lilly heading in from a corner, and then Danny Newton on his return to the side late in the half, touching in from Alfie Bates' free kick. Brackley need to keep this going in the second half, but if they can, they'll be claiming 3 really big points here. Half-time, it's Radcliffe 0, Brackley Town 2.
Tim Carroll reporting on Brackley Town for us. The other matches this afternoon, non-league, Southern League Premier Division Central. It's Bromsgrove Sporting 1, Banbury United 1, Harry Riley scoring for Banbury. In Southern League Division 1 South, it's Bishops Cleeve 1, Didcot 0. Southern League Division 1 Central, Aylesbury and Kidlington still yet to score. Stotford 1, Tame 2. 2, and it's Hertford 0, Northley 0. And in Rugby's Championship, Coldy 13, Chinner a little bit behind 7. It is non-league day, a special day in the international break every year, always scheduled to coincide at this time. It provides a platform for clubs to promote the importance of affordable volunteer-led community football while giving fans across the country the chance to show support for their local non-league side when, let's be honest, often they would be looking at higher league football. So it's a chance to shine a light on our proper local clubs and the communities and the fans they bring together. To celebrate our teams, our communities, our clubs, BBC Radio Oxford's Sophie Law has been working with Rowan Waller, who you may know as Rowan the Poem. He's an amateur poet and a children's book author and a massive non-league fan. He's also the official poet for Oxford City Football Club. Who knew they had an official poet? Together, Sophie and Rowan produced this homage to our local legends, to our local teams, the heart of our communities.
I met a man from Malibu, a massive Man United fan. He passed through on his pilgrimage up north to see the Etihad. I didn't state the obvious, just shook his hand and wished him well. He wandered off oblivious. I hope you like it. Time will tell. 4 tiers in the Football League, and up on top, the illustrious Prem. Non-league football underneath. Sometimes feels like us and them.
Penalty to Didcot Town. Opportunity here from the spot. And he scores for Didcot Town! And Didcot Town have taken the lead!
Why do we do it, boys and girls? Why lurk in tiers 5 to 11? We've got the best league in the world. Yet here we are, steps 1 to 7.
It's been coming for a long time in this game, but for City, it's been 140 years in the making. They have never played in the 5th tier of the football pyramid, but that is about to change. The referee blows his whistle. Oxford City are in the National League.
It's because it's about more than the glory. It's about being along for the ride. It's about being a part of the story. It's losing, but you're happy they tried. It's about rusty turnstiles and corrugate stands. It's burgers and chips and a pint at the fence. Or it's street food and craft beers, even live bands. Fans goading each other, but not causing offence.
Experienced header away, and now there's a break on, and Roger James is racing through, and he squared it off, and Louis to make it 4. 1-on-1, Louis scores! It's over now. Northley are history makers. Jefferson Louis at the double, and Northley are going to the Southern Premier League.
It's about players who play and then prop up the bar. It's about players who play for the love of the game. It's about knowing the chairman and knowing the kit man and knowing they'll sometimes be one and the same.
This is the moment. Brackley Town's Andy Brown, the school teacher, will have the chance to win the FA Trophy. It's Brackley's first ever appearance at Wembley Stadium, and it could end in glory as Brown steps forward and puts the ball into the back of the net. It's a wonderful, wonderful end for Brackley Town, who win the FA Trophy.
It's about the 300 miles that you travel away just to see it called off for a frozen pitch, and it's gone back up on a Tuesday night with just 8 other fans and they're nicking a win. It's about all of these things on top of the game. A way of life, or a life that's the way. So we'll roll our eyes at that Premier League, but still dream that we'll be there one day.
Love it. Rowan the Poem, together working with Sophie. He's the official poet for Oxford City. We'll be back following City. They're currently 2-0 up at half-time against Warrington Town, and that's why we love following them. Sophie's back on your radio Monday morning when you wake up here at BBC Radio Oxford. Well, if you were following the football yesterday, England beat Albania 2-0 at Wembley in their opening World Cup qualifying match. In what was Thomas Tuchel's first match in charge, there was a dream debut for 18-year-old Arsenal defender Miles Lewis-Skelly, who opened the scoring. He's been speaking to our football correspondent John Murray.
Miles Lewis-Skelly, 18 years old, England debutant, England goal scorer, standing in front of me. How does all that sound?
Well, that sounds incredible. It still sounds crazy to me even when you say it now. So yeah, I'm just lost for words, honestly.
Life comes at you very quickly, doesn't it, when you're your age?
Yeah, it's gone so quickly. Like this past 6 months as well, it's gone so quick. But obviously, I stay in the present and I just take every moment as it comes.
And as they say in all the old interviews, talk us through your goal.
Well, all I remember is staying wide, rotating with Marcus, and I know that Jude, he loves to stay on a half-turn dribble, and then when he makes that eye contact with me and that takes that touch, I know I need to threat. And yeah, it was a great pass from him, man. Just the timing was very good, and then the finish, just thought the keeper's coming at me and just try to put it between his legs.
You've only scored 2 senior goals. You knew how you were going to celebrate when you scored your goal against Manchester City. Had you thought about what you might do if you scored tonight?
To be honest, I didn't even think I was going to score today, but I just knew that if the opportunity presented, I was going to just let my emotions go and just take in a moment.
When did you find out that you were going to be starting the match?
I found out in the morning in the meetings, and yeah, when I saw my name on the team sheet, my heart started to pound. So yeah, maybe you could say there was a bit of butterflies there, but yeah, I was so excited to start.
Did you get the message to the family? I think how many of them were here tonight?
Well, so many messages before the game telling me just good luck, and yeah, they're all here tonight, so this means the world to them, and I can't wait to share that moment with them.
Yeah. And well, last question. You've just done something tonight you will never, ever, ever forget, haven't you?
Honestly, it's incredible. You know, this is the day I'll never forget, and yeah, I just want to take in this moment as long as I can before on to the next game, you know?
You can hear the pride, you can feel the pride. 18-year-old Arsenal defender Miles Lewis-Skelly talking there with our football correspondent John Murray, who opened the scoring last night. This is BBC Radio Oxford Sport. Good afternoon, it's non-league day. We're following Brackley Town against Radcliffe, and full second half commentary coming up as Oxford City are at home to Warrington Town next after Duran Duran and Rio. It's non-league day here at BBC Radio Oxford Sport. We're following on non-league teams right the way through the afternoon, right here.
Every kick, tackle and goal.
And Parker cuts inside. Parker's in here. And City have made it 4-0.
All the action is just moments away.
And it's been taken. All the goals running in.
Banbury United, champions of the Southern League, Premier Division Central.
And we are underway.
This is BBC Radio Oxford Sport.
Let's cross back for live second half commentary. Warrington Town are visiting Oxford City. Watching for us, Andy Gate.
Thank you very much, Danny. And it's not been a very happy visit for Warrington Town at the moment. The Oxford City players are out there ready to go in the second half. No sign of the Warrington Town team just yet. But it's been a pretty even, cagey game right up until the half-hour mark, where Warrington have basically shot themselves in the foot rather, because it was a really even game right up until Dan Atherton, the goalkeeper, got caught out by Josh Parker. He helped the ball on to Jaden Carbon, who's kept his composure to ride on a challenge and slam the ball home for 1-0, and that seemed to shock Warrington really. And then just a few minutes later, Atherton made a great save for a corner, and soon after making that brilliant save, he's made another hash. He went to punch the ball clear, got his angles all wrong, and then eventually the ball landed at the feet of his own defender, Peter Clark, who couldn't quite sort his body out, and after watching the replay back at half-time, smashed the ball into his own net to make it 2-0. But as Reece Fleet said to me in the first half, that 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, and I think that Warrington are going to be not happy here, and they're going to make a couple of changes. I can see the fourth official board is lighting up here, so we're about to see some changes. But Reece Fleet, back with me here. We've got the fantastic insight from you, Reece, today, the City captain. What, as Ross Jenkins said at half-time, I imagine it's pretty straightforward, more of the same.
Yeah, just keep on concentration. 2-0 is, like you said, dangerous scoreline. The next goal is going to be massive. The pressure's off them a little bit now. They're going to sort of go for it. they've got nothing to lose. So I think we just need to keep a concentration and build on the first half and just keep it tight. But like I said, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline, and the next goal is massive.
Well, they're going to make a change. Jack Hunt is going to come off for Oliver Southern. So there's one change at half-time, and it's a Warrington change. So they're changing shape, and Paul Carden obviously not happy with his side's performance in the first half. I don't think they've been that bad. It was just individual errors that has cost them at the moment. But Oxford City will not care. By hook or by crook, they need 3 points, and at the moment it is going extremely well. It's also going very well at Brackley. They're 2 goals to the good, and we are underway here again. No changes for Oxford City at the half, so it's as you were. They're shooting from right to left towards the clubhouse end, which is now packed full of Oxford City supporters, blue and white shirts, the orange trading gear, whatever you want to call it, gathered behind that goal, hoping that Oxford City can see this game out. No changes for Oxford City, like I said, so it's Laurie Walker who remains in goal. It's Canis Carroll, Ezanolim and Burley who make up the back three. Coyle left wing back, Drew right wing back, Scott Nashby sitting amongst them in central midfield as a partnership, and then it's makeshift striker Jaden Carbon alongside striker Josh Parker, and playing just behind them is the talismanic Zach McEachran, who has been on form in this first half. Perhaps hasn't quite just got the goal to make it count, but it's certainly been a very impressive half for Mr McEachran here. Underway, and I imagine that we'll be seeing a little bit more of a stop-start half here as Oxford City just try and navigate their way through this game. Here is McEachran. He loses the ball as soon as I give him a bit of praise, which has seemed to be the theme in this game. Ashby to Coyle. Coyle's pass is misplaced, and he wins the ball back though and just puts it into a dangerous area, and Atherton is forced into a very standard save just to catch the ball and keep it within his mid-drift. So goals going in across the National League North. Our local game, Brackley 2 goals to the good after Zach Lilly and Danny Newton in added time of the first half have given them a 2-goal lead against Radcliffe. That's good news for Oxford City as well, because Radcliffe are still in and amongst the conversation, and Radcliffe visits the M Group Stadium next Saturday. That could be another huge game after City have played Scarborough on Tuesday. You never know, it could be a completely different league table by then. In the big game of the day at the top, Scunthorpe 1, Chester 0. Apart from that, as you were, Kidderminster Harriers are leading 1-0 thanks to Ashley Hemmings' goal at home to Needham Market, which is more good news for Oxford City. And let's just see how this second half plays out. So Reece Fleet, not in the team today, but you'll be back involved, I imagine, on Tuesday. Is that quite right?
Yeah, so my suspension's over, so I'll be back available for Tuesday. But yeah, the lads have been brilliant so far.
There's a throw-in taken quickly over towards Parker, and Parker's just gone ahead of Hamish Douglas there and won the ball. He's got the ball in the corner, and he's done well there, Josh Parker, the Antigua international, to first of all get to the ball before the defender and then hold it up and then whip across in to win a corner. That's Oxford City's fourth corner of the game. The last one, I will remind you, resulted in a second goal, so maybe Dan Atherton will be having a few butterflies here, because it was a catalogue of errors that led to Oxford City's second from a corner. They're taking plenty of time to take it, but it's going to be the same man to take, Lewis Coyle. In fact, he's going to get the ball plonked on the quadrant for him by the number 15 Ackroyd. So Coyle, can he reproduce a delivery of that quality again? One arm in the air, again in towards the box, headed back, but it's back out. Carroll will mop up, plays the ball into the path of Ezanolim. It's not a great ball, but Ezanolim's made the most of it and will charge forward here. And Ezanolim keeps on going towards the byline. Can he create something here? He's being shepherded out to the corner flag. Still the ball against Ezanolim, and he's somehow won a corner there, the Oxford City centre-half, who is primarily a left-back, and you can probably see why there. That's good work from Chi Ezanolim. Another corner here though, and can't see through the crowd of... It's actually going to be Ashby to take it. He takes a quick one. Parker gets there first, takes a little bit of a stumble, but tries to play in Ashby again, but it's away by Harris. Into Hunt. Scott gets ahead of his man. That's going to be a foul here for... Is that going to be Tom Scott who's going to get the yellow card? It is going to be Tom Scott. It's going to be a... It's clever play, isn't it, from Tom Scott? Just he knew that he wasn't going to get there ahead of Ben Hatton, who's probably been Warrington's best player. He's got himself in front of him, and to be fair, Tom Scott has been taken down there.
Yeah, it's
a yellow card for Tom Scott, right?
It's a good foul. He was breaking on the counter, so clever play from Tom.
What I don't like is when you have those 50-50s, it could go either way, in theory, and the referee doesn't point to the way that, he's given the free kick. We were guessing there for a while, weren't we?
Yeah, it's always difficult. It's obviously it's easy for us to say sat here, but it did look like a bit of a guess.
Very political of you. Harris takes a free kick, but it's been pinched by Coyle, and City can counter-attack here. Carbon's making a charging run beyond the back line, but McEachran will keep driving forward. Chance here for Oxford City now. McEachran back to Carbon, touch inside the box. Carbon, he's just not shot. Atherton's taking him down. No penalty. Still going. Coyle just over the bar. And I'm not sure why Oxford City haven't been given a penalty there, because Atherton has dragged back Jayden Carbon just before his shot. He's injured there, Atherton. It was almost another error from the goalkeeper as he made a brilliant save but couldn't handle the ball. Eventually it was just about wrestled away from him, and City fire over the crossbar. Am I being harsh in saying that was a penalty? Because as soon as Jayden Carbon brought himself up from having that shot saved, he was dragged back down again by Atherton. The referee was in the best place though. No penalty. Perhaps Oxford City could have seen it game, set and match there.
Yeah, it was great play from Zach driving with the ball. He's just switched the ball back to Jayden. Ball's got stuck under his feet a little bit. Then Corley's done really well on the rebound. Just that last shot wasn't quite on target, but great bit of play from City.
Penalty or no penalty?
A bit soft really, but
I'm going to say penalty. I'm going to stick with my guns there, but very political from you, Reece. Just thought when Atherton's done really well, just to deny Carbon anything really. It would have been a soft penalty, but I think if that's to the Premier League and goes to VAR, it's one of those that maybe gets given. If it's 0-0, maybe it's a different one. But Atherton is down receiving treatment. He's had a difficult game, hasn't he, Dan Atherton? He's been well in the thick of it, and to be fair, he's made some really good saves, that one included. Obviously no one will remember that. They'll just remember the hash he's made of the couple of goals as he limps on. It's good news as well, because they haven't got a goalkeeper on the bench, Warrington Town. City keeping the foot on the gas, aren't they? They're keeping that momentum going. They're trying to kill the game within a third. Goal kick to be taken from Atherton here into the afternoon sky. Here's Devon Green. He's found McDonald, does well to turn here, and he'll come forward, and Ashby just gets back and wins the ball. Is that a foul? No, not given, and City just playing the ball around the back, and before Burley opts to be safe rather than sorry and clear the ball into the path of Parker. Parker's won the ball again here, and Aaron Drew has continued his run down the right, and then the referee's going to stop play for a foul on Jay Harris, the Warrington captain, and as soon as he did, Oxford City were away there.
It was a great bit of play by Josh Parker, just holding off the defender, getting us up the pitch, and then he switched the diag out wide to Aaron, but the refs obviously pulled it back. I think it looked like the captain is got struck in the head by an elbow, but it was accidental.
Well, the referee's going to take the ball all the way over to where Aaron Drew touched the ball down to take this drop ball, which means it's perhaps an opportunity for Oxford City to create something. Warrington are trying to contest it. I think that would be a bit harsh if the referee allows them to. Referee's just, convincing them to move away. He's dropped the ball. Ashby's played the ball forward, and that attack breaks down. So City are going to have to try and win the ball back. Here's Hatton. Brilliant touch from Hatton. He plays the ball into an area, but it's going to go into Ezenolim's mid-drift and back to Walker, who will just wait for the ball to plonk on his feet. And then he'll pick the ball up and save a few seconds. Game management will be key today, won't it, Reece?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important not to slow things down too much, because it can affect the flow of our game, but obviously there's times when we will need to manage the minutes.
Well, no more good news in the league below, because Banbury were 1-0 up. They were pegged back by Bromsgrove, but I'll pause because here comes City again, and again it's been given as another foul and a head injury here. And that's a few attacks for Oxford City that have broken down due to a few injuries, and there's a little bit of frustration growing in the crowd. I'll finish what I was saying. Banbury went 1-0 up away at Bromsgrove, and they were pegged back to 1-1, but now It's a former Oxford City man that has given them the lead. AJ George, very local. He just lives down the road from the Emirates Stadium. Scored to put Banbury 2-1 up there, up in the Midlands. So good news in our local games so far. Oxford City, Brackley and Banbury all winning at the moment. So very good news there. In the local games further down the pyramid, it's Stotfold 2, Tame United 2. Stotfold just equalised there, but Oxford City are going to have a free kick here and a chance to attack. And Warrington are going to have to play this with 10 men. Drew crossing towards the box, bounces over to Coyle, headed back into a dangerous area, out again. Here's Scott right on the edge of the area. He's taken down, free kick. The referee right on top of it. That was never a penalty, it was always a free kick. Good play from Scott to win a free kick. Right on the edge of the area. Now Reese Fleet, who's going to take this?
It looks like Josh Parker's grabbed the ball, but I think it'll be out of Josh Parker and Ashby.
Well, it's famous last words, but from me, I've got probably everything wrong today so far, but the last few free kicks that Josh Parker's taken, we know he's got it in his locker, but he's hit them over the bar and not really to Atherton. All you need to do with a free kick right dead on the edge of the D, right near the penalty area, is get it over the wall. If you can get that whip, the keeper probably sees it too late and it goes in. It's a 4-man wall, and like Reese Fleet's just said, it's a trio now though of Josh Ashby, who's just put the ball down on the mark, Josh Parker and Lewis Coyle. Parker's gone away from it. Referee's whistle goes. Ashby round the other, deflected and in. And Josh Ashby doesn't even celebrate because it took a wicked deflection past Dan Atherton. But like the previous two, the Oxford City fans will not care one jot. And in this big game of the season, perhaps the biggest that Oxford City have played all year, they're playing it like a pre-season friendly, as cool, calm and collected as you like. And Ashby's deflected free kick outfoxes the goalkeeper Atherton, and that surely has put one toe into the Oxford City taking home 3 points. Josh Ashby we're going to give that to, but perhaps it's going to go down as an own goal. Reece Fleet, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you normally expect Ashby to hit a bit cleaner, but he won't be worried about that. Took a massive deflection, but no one cares about that. It's a massive goal. Well, we were saying that 2-0 is a dangerous lead, but there's going to be another change made here. Actually, they're going to take off Joe Rodwell Grant in front for Mo Dorrow, so it's a change for Warrington there. But what I'll say there is, Reece, is that the next goal was huge, and Oxford City have got it. Well, there's a chance here actually, as City aren't being. Oh, and Clark just. Well, that's stupid from Peter Clark, a man of his experience, who is getting very frustrated out there, it must be said, which is why he's fouled. Warrington Town had the ball there, and Carbon's just battling him for it, and he's dragged Carbon down as Warrington had possession, and the referee's seen it, and he's got to give a free kick there, and Peter Clark is standing there with his arms on his hips. He's not happy at all. The Warrington team just look a little bit defeated out there, because that was petulant from Clark, and you don't want to see that from someone of his stature. I'm surprised he's not even been given a yellow card there. Yeah, I think that was a big sign of frustration. Warrington have to come out now and really attack us, but that will leave a lot of gaps for us to exploit. Well, another chance here from a free kick. It's a lot further out now, about 25 or so yards, and it's only Parker over it. So referee's whistle goes, Parker over the wall, over the bar, over the stand. So I did say that before the Josh Ashby free kick, to be fair, before he walked away from it, but not quite on target for Josh Parker there. But because Oxford City are 3 goals to the good, I think they can let him off with that one. Is that fair to say? Yeah, I think so. It's a bit of a difficult position. It was so straight on. But I've seen them stick them in the top corner, so we'll let him off. Well, we've seen him do that incredible things from dead balls, haven't we? I mean, Wealdstone away rings a bell when he absolutely, he found the postage stamp, didn't he, from about that range, or maybe even further out. But there's a chance here now for Oxford City to start enjoying their football for
on the pitch, it's always been quite cagey games. National League North, it's always like the battles, aren't they? But Oxford City have won the battle so far, and they're now playing against a pretty deflated Warrington Town team. And the question for Oxford City now is perhaps not whether they're going to hang on to that 2-goal lead, it's whether they're going to add to it. Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, it's important we stay concentrated, keep playing in their half. They do have to come out and go for it, so they will leave a lot of gaps behind. So that's something the likes of Zach and Josh Parker can exploit. So
well, have to keep going. We've still got a long way to go. We've got half an hour to play. Parker just about manages to shrug off his man, and they'll come forward here with Scott. Ashby now goes down. Is that going to be a free kick? Not quite. City still have the ball though with McEachran. And they'll just start to toy with the Warrington defence now as they move the ball here and there. As Nolan gets a few oohs and ahs as he teases the pressing defender, and the ball is eventually sprayed out to the right and headed back out by Hamish Douglas for a throw-in. It's taken quickly. McEachran will chest the ball back into the path of Tom Scott now. City starting to play a bit of football on the deck and starting to enjoy themselves here. Carroll. Clip down towards the right. Here's Parker. Ball into an area, but there's no one quite there. Harris manages to defend that well and plays the ball out right to the Warrington man. James. Ashby takes a poor touch, which is a rarity, it has to be said, but they've won the ball back here, Oxford City, and Carbon's cut inside. Carbon moving into the centre of the field, outside the area, his shot blocked, still goes out to Coyle. 4-0 to Oxford City, and they are really rubbing salt into the Warrington Town runes. That is probably the pick of the bunch, as Coyle ran onto the ball and drilled an effort into the side netting. Well, there's been a deflection, a howler from Atherton, a howler from Peter Clark, but that is a goal that Lewis Coyle will take all the credit for. And after the hour mark, it's Oxford City 4, Warrington Town 0. What a way to answer the critics going into this crunch game of the season. Reece Fleet, take it away.
Yeah, what a strike from Coyle. I think Josh has done well originally, then Zach's nodded it back down to Coyle. It's a difficult strike to be fair. The ball's bouncing quite high, but with Coyley's left foot, it's nestled into the bottom corner. But great strike, and we're in cruise control at the moment.
Well, if there was any doubt that the 3 points would have been staying right here in Oxford, they probably just evaporated. We were talking about Warrington Town just looking deflated. I was looking at some of the body language of their players when that goal went in. It was a brilliant finish from Lewis Coyle, but the Warrington players, well, it is difficult for them, isn't it? I mean, Oxford City are the team just above the drop zone, and with this win they will be 12 points clear of Warrington, and with 7 games to go it would take something pretty spectacular for Warrington to get out of this mess. They look down, but they're not down just yet, because Ben Hatton has won a corner and he'll go over to take it himself. They're committing everyone forward here. Word goes out to Jaden Carbon, he's been especially dangerous. Here's Hatton, again cleared by the first man, and there is Carbon, who can use his pace here to get away. Carbon now, he's got Drew and Scott making a run amongst him, but Aaron Drew just, I think he thought he had a little bit more time than he had there under pressure from Hamish Douglas and Ollie Southern, the substitute, and just ends up being taken down by the man. It's pretty good stuff from Oxford City. I mean, the first 3 goals, you could attribute to some pretty unfortunate errors from Warrington Town's point of view for East Fleet, but Oxford City have forced those errors, haven't they? Yeah, definitely. Josh and Jaden, especially have pressed well from the front. But as it goes, you can't ask for a better start to the second half. They're really leaving gaps now, so we're really starting to exploit that and play our game. They are indeed, and they have a throw in deep into the side, deep into the half here. Aaron Drew just, waving players away. Here's Scott now to Drew. McEachran, Ashby, they're moving it really well here, Oxford City. Parker down the right, free-flowing football. Drew into the box. McEachran, great save from Atherton. Brilliant move, deserved a goal, but Dan Atherton, who's had a pretty torrid day, has made a brilliant save again. What a goal that would have been, Reece Fleet. Yeah, great bit of play.
1-2 touch football, and Zach's unlucky. He's got it on target, but it's a good save. But the gaps are really appearing now, and we're really exploiting them. But great 1 and 2 touch play from City.
They're carving through Warrington Town here, and they've got another corner. And yes, let's. They've looked threatening from corners today. Let's not remind Warrington fans that may be listening. It's been a pretty difficult game for the Yellows today, but Oxford City will keep going here. Coyle's corner all the way back to Carroll, wins the header, but Carroll's header is collected by Atherton. He gets the ball quickly. Andre Burley jumps to try and block his throw, but the throw never comes, and Atherton will just wait for the substitute Ollie Southern to bring the ball forward. I was just talking about Jaden Carbon before. He's been brilliant today, hasn't he? But I'll pause because here come Warrington. But Carroll wins the ball. But Carbon has been that outlet, hasn't he? He's a bit of pace up front. He might not be a striker, but he's certainly played the part today.
Yeah, definitely, especially this level. Pace does kill defenders, and he's really got him behind a fair few times, and he's took his goal really well in the first half. So yeah, he's been great today.
Has been, as of pretty much everyone after a cagey start. And Carbon, who we were just talking about, was just trying to tug back his man, but in the end he's been given a foul as he just tried to get a few yards on his man. There's been a few goals elsewhere. We were Hertford Town 1, Northleigh 0. In the Southern League Division 1 South, Bishop's Cleeve a 3-0 up against Didcot. I don't know how Didcot or Oxford City for that matter in the divisions they're are in geographically, but it's not a great day for Didcot Town. But the moment Ezenolin goes head to head with Hatton, how big is the emphasis on keeping a clean sheet now, because goal difference could still play a part?
Yeah, I think it's key. I think Laurie, you can hear him shouting at the defence. He'll be wanting that clean sheet.
Well, Joe Ackroyd is going to be replaced by Boan Dixon, and like a lot of the Warrington Town players, Boan Dixon is a man with ample experience. He joins Jay Harris and Peter Clark here. Whether he can turn this, if he turns this game on his head, he'll be probably one of the best players in the world, because at the moment it's Oxford City in control. Long throwing in towards the box, headed away from Josh Parker again. He's done that every time. It's been brilliant. Again, Carbon will try and get ahead of Harris, drags him back, but it's dealt with this time by Oliver Southern. Burley, good header into the path of Laurie Walker, and City can just rest for just a little bit. Well, it's a nice position to be in, isn't it, Reece Fleet, from an Oxford City perspective? 4-0 up. We've still got 25 minutes and stoppage time to play. So what's the aim now? Keep the clean sheet and stay put, or try and add a few more goals to the tally and better that goal difference, if you like?
I think just keep doing what we're doing. I think we've been brilliant. You can see Warrington is starting to get frustrated.
Frustration's the word, and it's that man Peter Clark again, isn't it? I mean, he's getting stuck in, and he's just lashed out at Josh Parker. He's not connected as properly as he would like, as properly as he would have liked, but he's just getting a talking to him. Surprised there's no card there again. Maybe I'm being a little bit too critical again. Scunthorpe 2-0 up at home to Chester at the top of the division. Good news again, as Ashley Hemmings has doubled Kidderminster's lead at home to Needham Market. But right at the bottom, there's a bit of a surprise going on as Rushall Olympic lead 2-1 at Darlington now. And they might still be in with the shout of survival. Flicked on header by Parker, but it's flicked wide off the goal. And now it's Warrington Town, who are 4-0 down, who are sort of trying to break up the game and time wasting, because it is pretty relentless stuff now from Oxford City. As the attendance will get read out on the PA system, 700 people inside the M Group Stadium today. McEachran's marauded into the box here, and it goes out right to Drew. Oh, well, what a chance that was for 5. The ball all the way over to the right, and Aaron Drew's shot at the back stick, agonisingly blocked by the substitute Ollie Southern, and that really should have been 5-0. It's going to be a cricket score if Warrington keep playing the way they do. Oxford City are cutting through them like a hot knife through butter. It is relentless stuff from the hoops. We've not said that too much this season, but they are well, they're enjoying themselves out there, aren't they? It is a really good game to be at if you're an Oxford City fan. Corner again, and Lewis Coyle will take again. It's going to be an in-swinging effort. Again, everyone inside the 6-yard box. Atherton towards the back post. Cross in. Atherton claims it that time. There's a few sarcastic cheers as he gets the ball and blasts it forward. And if things weren't bad enough, as Ezen Owen just shrugs off the challenge of the substitute Lee Williams. He'll play the ball back to the goalkeeper. If things weren't bad enough, Oxford City's top scorer Corey Andrews is about to come on now as he continues to get a few minutes in the tank as he comes back from injury, and the referee isn't going to let Warrington take this too quickly because City are going to make that change, and it's going to be Jayden Carbon who makes way, and he has had a pretty outstanding game. Jayden Carbon, fantastic from him. He'll go off to an applause, and Corey Andrews makes his way. He's had a great game, hasn't he, Reece?
Yeah, he's been great. He's caused our defence a lot of problems. Took his goal well, and he deserves that round of applause. He's been great today.
And he's on now, Andrews, who made an impact at South Shields. Suddenly, things are looking a lot brighter for Oxford City. What a difference not even a week can make, as Andrews is straight into the thick of it to chase Peter Clark, but Clark darts away from his man there. And City just trying to look for a way back into this one. Here's Clark playing the ball out, and he'll thump the ball forward. Ezen Olin wins the header though, into the path of Coyle. He just gets a foot on that, and he's been taken down, and the referee's just calming things down. He's done a good job, the referee, today of doing that, hasn't he? He's not been rash to his pocket, but he's going to have to go to his pocket there, and I think that's the right call, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Good play from Coyle, just nicking the ball in front of him, and he's just caught him on the follow through, but good stuff.
Still, we continue here, and it's getting even better for Oxford City, but it's getting even better in the Midlands as Kidderminster Harriers have 3-0 up against Needham Market, so that goal difference continues to swing. It's only Rushall at the bottom that are winning, which may prove to be a little bit of a problem. City still have to play them on Easter Monday right here at the M Group Stadium. Will there still be a shout of survival for Olympic? Drew wins the header, and he's gone in on his man Southern a little bit too harshly. Free kick to Warrington. This game's starting to cut up already, but I'll repeat myself. With 20 minutes to go here, it is Oxford City 4, Warrington Town 0. With 20 minutes to go, here is Peter Clark. Ball forward, won by Carroll, and City will go forward with Drew Parker. I think he's just straight offside there, and he will. Well, he looks at the linesman, but I think the linesman's got that spot on, hasn't he? He's not quite got that the run time to a T. Ball forward again though for Warrington, as this game's has resulted in both teams blasting the ball down the field. Chance though now, and City have some defending to do, and Tom Scott blasts the ball out of the stadium for a throw-in. Still, we continue here, and it is a stay of execution for Warrington, who are going to make 2 further changes, and the captain, Jay Harris, is going to come off for Michael O'Neill. And eventually that change is made, and the other change is going to be Devon Green. He makes way for, and I might just have to wait for the fourth officials board here. And Devon Green will be replaced by Mo Dorrow, who I thought was already on the pitch, so I got that wrong before. Warrington have a throw though, and Oxford City have to defend it. They want to keep that clean sheet with results going their way in the league. They'll want as much goal difference there going their way as possible. Carroll heads the ball away. Bohan Dixon back towards Southern. Andrew press, as will Oxford City, but it's a brilliant turn, to be fair, from Michael O'Neill, the substitute, and he lashes a shot towards goal. It's blocked and goes out to Dixon, and he completely kicks the ball and hits it out for an Oxford City throw-in. And that perhaps sums up Warrington Town's game, doesn't it? I mean, I don't like to tempt fate, but from this performance alone, in the last game, Oxford City were 2-0 up, and you had to really strap yourselves in for the last 20-30 minutes as there was an assault on the Oxford City goal. They've given up, really, in a way, and they look relegated.
Yeah, they do look a bit flat.
I know you, as a fellow professional, you won't want to say that, but it does look like that, doesn't it? They do look flat, and that's a very kind way of putting it.
Yeah, they do, but we still need to carry on, do our job, stay concentrated, and because they do still have a couple of threats.
There's a long way to go in the season as well as this game, and as it stands, Warrington Town will be, and the fans are getting a little bit frustrated at the Yellows players, but as it stands, if we just get the league table up and have a quick look, it doesn't look good from a Warrington perspective. I mean, you almost feel sorry for the fans, don't you? I mean, they're 12 points off Oxford City, who occupy that last place, and 4-0 down in probably one of their biggest games of the season as well. Might be the nail in the coffin for them, you presume, today. But there's still everything to play for Oxford City, and despite a couple of good performances and results, the job is far from done as it is today, because still Warrington are coming forward here trying to create something. They'll have the ball with Michael O'Neill. He'll play it out wide to Ben Hatton, whose cross is easily collected by Laurie Walker. I do feel a bit sorry for Ben Hatton, though, because he's been the shining light in the Warrington team, the young right back, who has been pretty good today. Needham Market have got a goal back at Kidderminster. They're just showing that they've still got a bit of fight. Needham Market, it's a tough place to go to. The other team in the thick of the action that look like they might be going down is Farsley Celtic. They're 3-0 down to Spennymoor. Still Oxford City fighting this game that seems to be fizzling out. Oh, and there's a chance here for Parker, who just almost... Well, I don't know what Hamish Douglas, the Warrington defender's doing there. He was almost shielding it so he could go back to the keeper. The keeper didn't come, and Parker just kept pressing and almost won the ball back, and they've forced them to give the ball away, and McEachran plonks the ball on his foot from the afternoon sky, and they'll continue here, Oxford City, and they win a throw-in. It's been that sort of game. Josh Ashby's just gone down with a throw-in. The referee's not going to let Oxford City take this free kick just yet. Hopefully nothing too serious for Josh Ashby. I'm wondering, if you're looking at the bench, whether it's a game where Ross Jenkins might opt for a few younger lads to come on. They've got Jaden Putman, Rowan Vaughan on the bench still to be used. Jacob Roddy and Phil Croker, the other two substitutes. Hopefully Ashby's going to be okay. Did you see what happened there, Reese?
No, I didn't actually see what happened there. It looks like he's holding his hamstring.
Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious for a City player. He's just having a drink of water at the moment. And he does look in some pain. Cramp, it looks like, as the physio is holding his leg up straight, and Ashby's just gritting his teeth. He's in some pain there. I think he has run himself into the ground. We are about to see Rowan Vaughan introduced. Let's see who for. Maybe for Josh Parker, perhaps, as a like-for-like change. Maybe just give him a few minutes rest. And it is going to be Josh Parker who makes way. And Rowan Vaughan's going to get 13 minutes. He scored a hat-trick in the Town v Gown game. Of course, that's a friendly match, so hasn't scored his first senior goal just yet. But Rowan Vaughan is on now. And there's a big goal in the game in Step 4, and it's gone the way of Kidlington. Aylesbury United 0, Kidlington 1, and that is a big goal at the bottom of the Step 4 division for Kidlington, who have started a bit of a revival under Aidan Horton, the new manager. Massive goal there. Can they hang on at Aylesbury? That would be a huge 3 points if they could. Meanwhile, Cheers and Olim's has done a foul throw in. And I don't think there can be any arguments about that, to be honest with you, but the ball has gone back into Oxford City possession, and Cheers and Olim's going to get a second go at taking a throw in. Always makes me laugh when there's a foul throw at these levels. And Ezra Nolan's going to throw the ball down the line. Headed down to Josh Ashby. Still both teams battling for the ball in the middle of the field. The game as a contest was quite entertaining in the first half, but it's fizzled out as such. But here comes City again. Coyle into Andrews. Andrews across goal, and it just bounced wide. I think Rowan Vaughan got a touch onto that in a crowd full of shirts. It was Rowan Vaughan that was just kind of disguised in amongst that, and it almost again was a goal for City. Rowan Vaughan will be itching to get himself on the score sheet, especially as a young striker. Brilliant ball though from Warrington, and they're in here with Hatton, the right back, who has got the ball on his feet inside the box. He sorts his body out, he needs support. He's got a runner with Aaron James, but he continues himself, and his shot goes into Josh Ashby's chest. I think he's a bit winded after that. It'll be a Warrington corner though. Latest scores: Aylesbury United 0, Kidlington 1, Stotfold 2, Tame United 2, Hertford Town 2, Northley 1, Bishops Cleaver 2-0 up against Didcot, sorry. And in the rugby, a full-time score, it's Caldy 23, Chinner 24. Brilliant win for Chinner there. And Banbury United still 2-1 up at Bromsgrove, and it's still Radcliffe 0, Brackley 2 there. 10 minutes to go in this one. Fizzed ball into the area, and there it's ones for Bohan Dixon, who, well, that would have been pretty special if he'd have scored from there, Reece Fleet.
Yeah, that would have been a hell of a goal. Looks like Warrington are out of ideas, and they look really flat.
Well, it must be nice for you as well. You know, you're going to come back into this team after 2 wins on the trot. You'll be available for selection on Tuesday, but you can't wait now.
Yeah, buzzing to get back. It's always difficult when you miss out, especially in a critical time in the season like this. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back out there. But the boys have been brilliant these last couple of games, and just shows the character we have in this side.
Job's not done though, although it's looking prettier, it's not done, and they've got to some big games coming up. Scarborough away on Tuesday, but you're looking forward to that journey. And on Saturday, Radcliffe at home. That's another huge game against another relegation battle inside. It could be the difference. That's in a week's time right here at the M Group Stadium, Oxford City Radcliffe. Still, City come forward here with McEachran. Plays it into Vaughan, who's just on the edge of the area. Vaughan finds McEachran. McEachran, that's got to be a penalty. Oh, I can't believe he's not given that. McEachran tripped. Peter Clark thinks that's a dive. I thought that was a penalty, and I think if that's not 4-0, that's give. Well, I'm not quite sure what the referee's seen there. Recently, am I being unfair again?
No, it did look like he got to the ball first, and then it just looked like he clipped him almost. But
yeah, it was a very slight touch. But when you're in full flow like that, you know, it does. You know, it does take you down. I think McEachran's really unfortunate there. There was a bit of afters between Clark, who thought that Zach McEachran dived.
Yeah, that's unlike him to dive as well, Zach. So
yeah, well, Phil Croker's being readied from Oxford City now, so it's going to be a bit of game time for him in National League North. I think maybe the referee didn't get the clearest view of that. If he was just stood a few yards to his left, I think he might have seen the outstretched leg a little bit more. I don't think he was in the best position in the middle there. But I'm quite surprised Oxford City haven't made it 5-0 yet, Reece.
Yeah, I think maybe if the scoreline was different, maybe the referee might approach it a little bit differently. But
well, there's going to be a booking here. Corey Andrews has gone down. See yellow card for Peter Clark, just for the whatever that is, handbags, and he's had a pretty torrid day as well. Peter Clark, who's now wearing the armband. Still, Oxford City are looking for a fifth. Paul Carden, the Warrington Town bot, just stands with his arms folded. I mean, what do you say to your team after this? I mean,
yeah, it's a difficult one to pick your team up after a loss like this, and especially such a critical game. It really is difficult, but
there's a change for Oxford City here, and it's Ashby for Croker. Ashby's given the armband to Canis Carroll. And the man of the match, sponsored by, it's gone to Jaden Carbon. And that's quite fair, maybe. There's probably a few out there could have won it.
I think you could have given it to a number of players, to be honest. But yeah, Jaden was very good today.
Well, Phil Croker's first part of the game is to throw the ball up the line, and Peter Clark will chase, and it goes out. Well, I was going to say it was going out for a throw in, but Mo Dorro's won the ball there, and that's a pass that's been picked up on. And now here come Warrington, looking for a consolation in this game. James out to the substitute Lee Williams, who slips, but he's still got possession. Chance here, shot, it's deflected, and it almost looked like it was going to dip into the top corner. Laurie Walker wasn't sure, he had his angles covered, and it'll be a corner to Warrington Town. Still, we continue here. And Warrington just trying to get a goal back. It would be rather frustrating if Oxford City do concede. It's a good corner in, and it's a chance. It bounces into the arm of Laurie Walker, and Laurie Walker, in getting to that ball, has taken out. Well, I'm not quite sure who he's taken out, but he's taken out someone. Walker is going to need treatment as well. Both sets of physios on. Did you get a better view of that?
Yeah, I think the cross was over here. I think Laurie was backpedaling, and I think he might have bumped into each other, but does look like both players are down.
Goal in the other local game in National League North. Radcliffe have hit back. It's Radcliffe 1, Brackley 2. Scunthorpe look like they're going to be the big winners towards the top of the table today. They are 3-0 up against Chester, who have lost a lot of ground now. It's getting really tight at the top. Brackley's still in with a shout though, but they're going to have to hang on at Radcliffe, who are continuing to fight for every game. Still Rushaw lead at Darlington. That could be a massive win for them. Hereford 2, Curzon 1, Kidderminster, how is it that against Needham Market? That was the big result in National League North that Oxford City were looking out for, and it's going their way at the moment. They're going 6 points clear of the drop. Chester have pulled one back, in fact, at Scunthorpe. Corner floated in, and it's not a bad corner. Vaughan gets the ball away, just still not to safety though, and here's Boan Dixon. Back to O'Neill. He's looked lively when he's come on O'Neill, and he's found McDonald into Hatton, and that is offside from Hatton, and it will fizzle out again. 5 minutes to go. I'm in this game that has been over and done with for a very long time. It's been a sort of weird game. It was really well contested within the first half an hour until Oxford City edged ahead. Dan Atherton messing up and losing possession to Josh Parker, who fed Jaden Carbon, who kept his composure to hammer home. That sign seemed to shock Warrington as Atherton just moments later missed the cross, and Clark blasted the ball into his own net. And straight after the break, Oxford City continued to where they left off and added a third. Josh Ashby's deflected free kick, in hindsight, putting the game to bed. And Lewis Coyle has added a fourth. Still we go though, still 5 minutes to play, and City are looking for a fifth here. Andrews does well to cut inside. Vaughan into Andrews again, bounces out and still not gone. Drew, Scott, it's another brilliant block. Brilliant block from Oliver Southern. Well, Oxford City have had 3 golden chances to make it 5-0, and it's been last-ditch defending that has stopped it. But we could be talking about a 7-0 here if things have gone Oxford City's way. I mean, they've had a penalty that we thought was a penalty not given. About 3 chances magnificently defended from Warrington, to be fair. It has been dominant from Oxford City, hasn't it, Reece Fleet?
Yeah, I don't think you can really ask much more from the boys. They've from minute one, really, they've been by far the better team, and like you said, we could have had a few extra goals, but it's been a great day so far.
Great day so far. Is there room for more though? It's another corner for Oxford City. Coyle to take again. He's been the man that's been the influence from these. Another brilliant in-swinging ball. Carroll goes to head it. Does he win the header? He does. It goes out for a goal kick. Lewis Coyle's deliveries have been really on point today, haven't they? He's probably one of the best corner takers in the National League North. I mean, he scored from one against Marine, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got a very sweet left foot, and he's always hitting good areas from set pieces.
Still Warrington just passed the ball around, just trying to find a way forward. Here's Dixon now. Turns, ball back out, does well to find Michael O'Neill. And now they'll go away here from Lee Williams, who drives forward down the middle of the field. Ball across, and it's not a bad ball. Will they get onto the end of it through Aaron James? Not quite. City win a throw in deep into their own half here. The scoreboard is ticking on. We've got 88 minutes showing there. And the scoreline says, and I'll repeat it again, Oxford City 4, Warrington Town 0, but that is only half the story because Oxford City could be 6 or 7 to the good here if things have gone their way. We didn't expect that after the first 30 or so minutes. You know, everyone expected it to be quite cagey, and it was until a few lapses in concentration, we'll say, from the Warrington defence. But Oxford City will not care one jot as they keep battling to survive. Oh, and that's a poor ball picked up by Drew, and Drew's away here, and City could counter. Rowan Vaughan's making a busting run to try and get towards the back stick. Here's Burley. Oh, it's a difficult touch to take from Burley. Still Oxford City are penning Warrington in here though. Here's McEachran right on the edge of the area, plays in Vaughan. Vaughan tries to slide past his man, but he doesn't quite have the strength to get past Hamish Douglas. Rowan Vaughan certainly getting stuck into these last 10 minutes, and he's in the National League North. The young QPR loanee. McEachran tries to nick the ball off Bowen Dixon, but Dixon shrugs him off there. And they'll come forward again down the right, Warrington. Here is Ben Hatton. He's got a run in front of him from Aaron James, but it's a brilliant challenge from Canis Carroll, who goes steaming into his man but gets the ball. Still Warrington continue though. Michael O'Neill right in the centre of the field, moves the ball from his left to his right. Hatton now keeps going forward. Hatton, his crosses straight into Lewis Coyle. I didn't quite see how many minutes of added time there were there. 1 minute has been added. I think that's quite kind, if it is one. Cross into a box, punched away from Walker, drops to Dixon on the edge of the area, and Dixon's shot is blocked and away. But here's Vaughan. Can Vaughan set away Andrews? The ball bounces to and fro, and Vaughan wins a free kick. I think it would be fair to put one, because it has been this game's been done for a long, long time, and Oxford City are about to pick up a huge 3 points in National League North. They've made I thought it was a bit strange it's 1 minute, and Terry Winter's saying 6 minutes there, so that makes sense. But Oxford City, whatever happens, 1, 6, 16, they are going to see out this game. Walker now to hit the ball forward. It's going to go all the way towards Atherton. And there's sarcastic applause as Atherton catches a rather easy lob forward. Drew trying to get the ball forward, but it has been the Oxford City show today. They have really left their mark on this game. Back to Atherton. Atherton pressed by Andrews, and he's made another error, and Andrews does foul his man. Vaughan tries to get the ball past, and eventually Atherton gets away with one there again. He has looked shaky, and City have really stuck the boot in, but they'll come forward here. McDonald, who is going to have a do, and McDonald slams the ball over the Cypher standard into the field beyond the net. Well, Oxford City, it's 6 minutes of added time. We've got 4 minutes to play, and they will take plenty of time over it. To be fair to the couple of Warrington Town fans over there, a lot of them just look abject and defeated, but they're still trying to make some noise and get behind the team, maybe rather sarcastically. Still, Oxford City just won a fifth, because that would really put the icing on the cake if they could get that. Hatton, he's tripped by Zanolan. The referee's done well in finding that, and Hatton is going to go down injured here. Still we continue, and Hatton might need a little bit of treatment, so he might get added time on top of the added time here. It's finished at Radcliffe. They have lost to Brackley, so Brackley, one of our local teams, picking up 3 points there. Very good day for them. And with Chester losing today at Scunthorpe 3-1, they will stay in the hunt. Kidderminster are also in the hunt. They're about to beat Needham Market 3-1. Still going on there. Still going on here. And Ezra Nolan plays the ball down the line, but he's given away a free kick. Darlington equalised right at the death in the 3rd minute of added time against Rushall Olympic. That certainly makes the scoreline a lot better to read from an Oxford City point of view. Marine keeping their red hot form going as well. They've reached the magic 50-point mark with their win today over Peterborough Sports. But still we play on here. Still we go. Still Hatton remains on the ground. Oxford City, perhaps the biggest game of their season in the with how big the 3 points look for either of these teams, have answered all the questions that have been thrown at them, and they've really ended up running away with this game. They can stay in the league. They'll be playing Macclesfield FC. They've won promotion today with a win at Bamborough Bridge, and Banbury still going on at Bromsgrove. Still Bromsgrove Sporting 1, Banbury 2. They can hold on there. It's a big 3 points for Banbury. AJ George and Ben Hatton is going to have to come off here. He's just being held by the 2 Warrington physios, and it's a sad ending for him because he's been Warrington's best player. Still going on here, and we'll have a few moments to continue here, and Warrington are going to have to end the game with 10 men because Hatton is not going to be able to continue, and if it wasn't looking grim enough already for Warrington, it's just got even grimmer as they are going to have to be without one of their better players in this game. We're eventually going to have the free kick. O'Neill whips it in, it's headed away just. Oxford City will be looking to keep hold of that clean sheet. I wonder if the referee will add on the additional minutes onto added time, because it has been a stay of execution for quite a long time here. Williams sends a shot towards goal, and it's a stinging effort, saved by Laurie Walker. Canis Carroll not happy that he wasn't closed down there. Corner ball to be taken now from O'Neill, who certainly looked lively once he's come on. And this is going into one place and one place only, but again Warrington do have 10 men. Decent ball in, Walker's underneath it, and Walker claims it and dives on the ball. We've got 15 seconds remaining of the 6 minimum additional moments. I wonder if the referee will just be kind enough to let that happen. 2 of Ben Hatton's teammates have gone over to help him. It's been trudge him off the pitch here. It's been a really difficult game for Warrington from all aspects. Atherton collects the ball, fires the ball forward into the afternoon sky. Ball bounces, Carroll's underneath it, and he heads it back to Walker, and Walker will dive on that. It's good defending in the end, but for a split second we didn't really know where that was going to go, unlike this game that has been done and dusted for some time. Brilliant game for Oxford City fans, players and the staff. We went ahead when Jayden Carbon capitalised on Atherton's error to make it 1-0. Moments later, Atherton made another error, and Clark blasted the ball into his own net to make it 2-0. A catalogue of errors there, and after the break it continued. Josh Ashby's free kick cannoned off the wall and just completely wrong-footed. The man has, I'm not quite sure he's been given a yellow card there, whether it was Carroll or Warrington man. I think it's the Warrington man who's just been yellow carded for clattering into Carroll. Ashby's free kick, it's gone down as a Josh Ashby goal, but it was heavily deflected past Atherton, and then the icing on top of the cake was sealed when Lewis Coyle ran in on goal and drilled the ball into the bottom corner. It could have been 5, 6, maybe even 7. Then perhaps should have had a penalty, Oxford City, when McEachran was tripped, but luckily for the Hoops, they didn't have to rely on refereeing decisions today, and it looks as though they're going to get back-to-back wins. The referee puts the whistle to his mouth, and that is it. Oxford City 4, Warrington Town 0. And it is one hell of a victory for Oxford City, who go 6 points clear of the drop zone.
So, a fantastic win, just what they needed. Oxford City coming out 4-0 winners over Warrington Town. Many thanks to Andy Gate and Reese Fleet for keeping us across that this afternoon. It's non-league day. Let's see if we can also get success. Brackley Town on the road at Radcliffe with them. Tim Carroll.
Yes, big crowd here at Radcliffe, and they've seen a fine win for Brackley by 2-1. It was an excellent first half of attacking football by the visitors that took Brackley into the break 2 goals ahead through Zach Lilly and Danny Newton. But Radcliffe came out a different team in the second half. They took the game to Brackley, and it needed a really determined rearguard action to win through. Radcliffe grabbed a late goal that set up a nervy final few minutes, but Brackley held out for what you feel are 3 really big points this afternoon that takes Brackley into second place in the league table ahead of the big game on Tuesday evening when Kidderminster Harriers are the visitors to St James Park. Final score here is a Radcliffe 1, Brackley Town 2.
Great news for Brackley, great news for Oxford City as well. Elsewhere, in the Southern League Premier Division Central, it finished Bromsgrove Sporting 1, Banbury United 2. Southern League Division 1 South, it was Bishops Cleeve 2, Ditka Town 0. Southern League Division 1 Central, Aylesbury 0, Kidlington 1. Stotfold 2, Tame United 2, and it finished, we can confirm, Hertford 2, Northley 1. There's a story behind that, we'll tell you in a minute. But Hertford 2, Northley 1, the final score there. And in Rugby's Championship, despite Chinner being behind at the half-time break, it finished Coldy 23, Chinner inching it by 1 point, 24.
Danny Cox.
The sound of Oxfordshire.
The music you love. BBC Radio Oxford.
BBC Radio